So that shiny new game just came out, INDIKA, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. Keep in mind this is not a full review, this is a quick look at the game. I played the game for around an hour and a half, so I'll show some footage of the game while describing it and giving a few thoughts on it. Based on reviews I've seen, it seems the entire game is around 5 to 6 hours long. It's very short. I imagine a lot of you hearing that are already uninterested. The game is really interesting though, and it has great graphics. One thing that's highly weird to see is how this game mixes 2D and 3D graphics. Some sections of the game are entirely pixelated and 2D, which is weird because the game's normal graphics look so good. Like the name of the game, you play as a nun named INDIKA. The beginning part of the game is boring as hell and tested my patience. For the first 15-ish minutes, you're doing a couple tasks. All you're really doing is walking agonizingly slow and then getting water from a well. However, you have to get water 5 times from the well, and you also still walk slow. To make it worse, after you spend forever getting water, one of the nuns knocked the whole barrel over and your work was for nothing. I hate that nun now. Maybe she's the devil instead. Woe be upon her. Thankfully, after that, the game truly begins and you can actually run as well. As you play the game, you'll come across random things that you can interact with, like books or relics. Once you collect them, you get a point, and it makes a weird noise like you're collecting rings in Sonic. Once you get enough points, you can level up. So far, the leveling up has had zero effect on me, and I find it kind of weird. I only leveled up twice so far in the time that I played, so we'll see where that goes. So as far as I understand it, the devil himself is within INDIKA and is always talking to her. This wasn't explicitly stated within the time that I played, but it's inferred and will likely be outright stated at some point. She hears him and has hallucinations as well, like that tiny person coming out of the nun's mouth. The nuns don't really like her, so they give her a letter to send and let her leave the convent to give it to Father Herman. The path is very linear, and there are a few minor puzzle solving areas. At some points the ground will crack and turn red, and praying will make it normal again. Eventually you meet a soldier with a messed up arm. I guess he turned out to be an enemy because he shot the other soldiers in the town that you were in. He makes you drive him away on the bike at gunpoint, and it's actually kind of funny because one of the other soldiers chasing you both down has glasses and is a horrendous shot. Once stopped, she decides to help out the soldier instead of leaving him behind. So from that point on, he was with me while I played. He talked about how God told him the future and everything was playing out exactly like God told him that it would. He said it happened while he was drinking from a cup and that he'd show her. His messed up arm is holding a cup, so I assume that's the cup. However, in the time that I played, he did not show me the cup, so we'll see where that goes as well. His plan is to go to the Cudettes, a temple for healing. I assume it's going to be for his arm, but maybe something more. A little bit later, the devil convinces INDIKA to open the letter that she's carrying and to read it. It says someone was defrocked, which I believe to be herself, meaning she's no longer a nun and is kicked out. Considering that letter, now she decides to go with him to the temple. Perhaps it could even cure her. She seems to be developing feelings for the guy as well, which is very un-nun-like. Eventually we get to the town where the temple is, and that's when I got off the game. So far this game is highly interesting, the graphics are great, and the story is really hooking me in. It sucks that the game is so short, but the game has been great so far. Highly interesting story, though that's my personal opinion. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.